an okay amount. It's not too much, being 20 minutes in the game. Now the Mutas of MorroW moving in once again. He just took out more siege tanks, just taking out single marines without actually having to fight all the remaining marines at once. And there are actually no missile turrets here in the mineral line of DieStar to protect him against the attacks of the Mutas of MorroW. So what is MorroW producing right now? He's just producing more Zerglings, more Banelings, no more Mutas at the moment. And one really important thing is he's squeezing in a drone here and there. Now Beastie was scanning here on the low ground on the top left, so he knows, okay, there's another expansion up, and there he is sieging up with a siege tank at that a little bit more on the top location. He's got the second siege tank up here, and now MorroW is rolling in with the Banelings, flying in with the Mutas, and just running in with the Zerglings, attacking at every possible location at once again taking out all of the forces here of DieStar. And DieStar, what is the supply telling us now? Now he is dropping in supply, or better to say, MorroW is getting more and more ahead in supply. Now MorroW was behind 15 supply, now he's ahead nearly 30 supply, getting more Zerglings, getting more Banelings, and just squeezing in some drones once again. And he's still got quite a lot of minerals, about 800, 1,500 resources worth of minerals in his main. He's constantly mining at his natural, at his low ground expansion, as well as at the gold. He's not going yet for the 9 o'clock, no, he's going for the 3 o'clock, but he's got his overlords everywhere, so he will know if DieStar actually would decide to do something like that. DieStar meanwhile is going for the +3 attack for the infantry, and going for more siege tanks, and going for even a Thor, and building another command center. This command center is being built here between the natural and the gold mineral expansion, so he can use it to land at the gold, not at the low ground, of course, I wanted to say. And resource counting station is telling us that both guys doing a good job at keeping the minerals and the gas count very, very low. And MorroW, he was not continuing to pull ahead in terms of supply, because DieStar, he's already at 150 supply. So once again, DieStar was able to catch up more and more supply, but we got two Banelings here burrowed at the Zelnaga watchtower. Baneling trap going up once again. Okay, this scan is a little too late. Two Banelings were just able to kill 10 more Marines, so this is always a good trade. And do we have more Banelings buried? Yes, here we do have more Banelings buried. And just think about the psychological factor. Having those Banelings burrowed there is just forcing your determined opponent to scan more over and over again. It looks like MorroW wants once again to move out, but this time I doubt this attack will be too successful. Two more siege tanks being there, the Mutas attacking the Thor, and MorroW is just pulling back. And I personally would have thought that DieStar would be able to hold this attack off a little bit better, but in the end the supply is nearly the same, only as supplied it currently for MorroW. We see 8 more actually Marines being produced by DieStar. He just needs to wait 60, and 2 more Banelings, boom, taking out 7 more Marines. And DieStar just needs to wait another 50 seconds for the +3s to finish, but this is not enough Marines, so now the Zerglings just can move in and once again take out all of the forces DieStar is trying to take this gold mineral expansion. Now DieStar will be mined out at the gold himself pretty soon. This command center was finished there for quite a while. Now he's just lifting it up to go for the gold. Meanwhile, at the 9 o'clock, the hatchery of MorroW just finished. He's mined out at the main. DieStar is mined out at the main. He is mined out at the natural. So he's only got this one mining expansion left very soon. And what is MorroW doing? He's going for the lair, for the hive tech, of course. He's got the lair finished like centuries ago. And now DieStar, what's the supply is telling us for him? He's behind 25 supply, and MorroW, he's just doing what he did all the time, but now with a difference. And I like this very much by MorroW. And nice transfusion here in the spine crawler, by the way. He is adding some infestors in the mix, and having those infestors is a really good thing to go for. So we just see two more infestors popping out right now with a pathogen glands, with the speed upgrade, energy upgrade already finished. So now MorroW is moving his Zerglings here to the low ground, trying to take out as many units, as many SCVs as possible, and the Banelings just took out so many SCVs here. So DieStar is down to, let's just wait a couple of seconds so we can check the new harvest account. Looks like he was having way too many SCVs, but he's down 60 supply right now. It is not looking good. Once again, good job by DieStar picking up all those Marines here once again. He's still with them. This is just too many Banelings, too many Zerglings. Meanwhile, MorroW was able to secure this 9 o'clock base, so now all the Marines killed the remaining Zerglings and the remaining Banelings. Harvest account is now up to date, telling us that DieStar is now only having 39 SCVs left, so this Zergling Baneling attack by MorroW was quite effective. Where are the infestors? Here they are. The infestors have been spotted by DieStar right now. There he is, just getting more Banelings, and with the fungal growth, just sacrifice a couple of infestors just to get this one key fungal growth off, so the mutas just can take care of the rest. And nice fungal growth, and this is how you really need to and fungal growth getting reapplied there. This is how you need to micro your infestors. Just Shift Q the fungal growth up, because this fungal growth is casted instantly, and as soon as the fungal growth is being casted, the infestor will run away, and another fungal growth coming up. Of course, fungal growth not being too effective with the medivacs and their healing stuff, but looks like he now will be able to attack. No, he's just not. He's a very indecisive right now. He's not really knowing if should I go for an attack, should I wait. And looks like he wants to wait, getting more Zerglings. He's got the adrenal glands, the Zergling attack speed upgrade, finished in 35 seconds. He's going for the +3 attack, which will take 2 more minutes to finish, so maybe he's just waiting for the Zergling attack upgrade to go for an attack. Losing this hatchery will not be such a big deal here for MorroW. And DieStar is constantly aggressive, doing a scan, checking out are there any other hidden Banelings, are there any other units just near to my forces. But MorroW is having so many mutas, so many Banelings, so many Zerglings, and it's a really good amount of infestors in the mix there as well. And looks like DieStar wants to continue with the slow push. He's got so many siege tanks, and those siege tanks are really well placed, so the only thing he needs to worry about right now is to have enough Marines to secure his siege tanks. And looks like, yes, once again, all those mutas were able to take on a couple of Marines, and nice fungal growth. Banelings taking out the stuck Marines, and now there are just more fungal growth being casted. Of course, Infestor, not a very durable, resilient unit, got taken out by the siege tank quite easily. Meanwhile, he is continuing to mine here on the low ground. He does not need to worry about gas. He's got nearly 2,500, so minerals is the only thing he needs to worry about. 2 more Banelings being buried here, but not near enough those Marines to those Marines. So MorroW is continuing to mine on the 9 o'clock. He's got still this low ground expansion, and so we got 2 mining bases for MorroW. We got 1 mining base for DieStar. And DieStar, I'm not sure why he's not just moving around with a couple of Marines, just checking what's going on here. Oh, he's even got the Marine. Why not attack this Overlord or those 2 Overlords? He just could do a little bit of damage there as well. MorroW got here some more Banelings traps up and running, just sending only in a couple of Zerglings to get rid of the Zellnaga Watchtower, to get rid of the Marine standing next to the Zellnaga Watchtower. He's still got those 2 buried Banelings here. He's got those 2 buried Banelings at this location. Does he have any buried Banelings at the 9 o'clock? No, he does not. But I think DieStar, is he aware of it? Yes, he absolutely is. And looks like DieStar is now moving out, trying to take out this base here, sieging up with the tanks on the low ground, having the Marines and some other forces being positioned there. It should be a nice force, should be a nice move. Meanwhile, MorroW just buried more Banelings there. Nice scan by DieStar, but nice fungal growth on the medivacs there as well. And Now with the tank siege up, he's doing quite a nice amount of damage. Meanwhile, the mutas, so many mutas from MorroW, took out the expansion here on the low ground, and there are the Zerglings, there are the Banelings, more fungal growth being casted, and now this should be it. MorroW is denying any possible expansion here for DieStar. DieStar is currently not mining, and still MorroW got this expansion up and running left, and MorroW is even in 100 supply lead, and all those mutas just take care of everything else as long as there are no Thors, and there are not, MorroW can even use his mutas to take the Marines right away, because he's got the +2 attack upgrade, he's got the +1 armor upgrade for his Marines with his mutants. Now DieStar is just continuing to attack, to siege here on this hatchery, but MorroW, I think he's just might be playing with him because he actually gets so many mutas out, and is he just waiting to move in with all the forces at once? And there, just because with his Zerglings and Infestors, he's just attacking, then moving back, attacking, moving back. I mean, he is, of course, he's able to cast fungal growth here and there, but in the end, I'm not sure if it's too cost effective for the Marines, for the Zerglings and the Infestors. And I mean, he's got already 42 mutalisks, nice fungal growth on the Medivacs, taking out all the fungal growth, but even with his 44 mutalisks right now, he is too afraid of what might have happened to those mutas by 50 Marines. And now we see the GG. Well played. We were not able to enjoy the power of all those mutalisks here, and MorroW taking game number 2 after a 36-minute match. And even though DieStar might have been behind from the first second on, he was not going down without a fight. He was doing a really good job there at staying in the game, at staying constantly aggressive, and even though he lost, especially in the early and mid stage of the game, he lost so many siege tanks. I mean, every 2 minutes MorroW just was running in there with some mutas, with some Banelings and some Zerglings, taking out 5 more siege tank and then pulling back. So now it is time for Lost Temple. DieStar wants to make a win here for the 3rd game, because MorroW is currently up 2-1 against DieStar here in the finals of the Competo Cup number 27. I am Special Andre, and now just taking a 1-minute break.